Bulunaka, do you know that cybercrime is becoming a growing problem in Fiji?
Cybercrime is defined as a crime in which a computer is the object of the crime, such as hacking and spamming.
Cybercrime is also cyberbullying and using fake profiles to cause panic and spreading false news.
If you're involved in this or know anyone who's committing...
In this bulletin, charges likely over pyramid scheme, PM launches climate strategy, and Pondicherry registers revenue drop.
From the studios of FBC Suva.
The Fijian Competition and Consumer Commission has warned that they will investigate and charge civil servants and individuals participating in pyramid schemes. FCCC Chief Executive Joel Abraham says they have received reports of teachers, nurses, and even judiciary staff running these schemes. Croitan Dolara reports.
The FCCC is investigating a number of complaints, including a report of a nurse at the CWM hospital in Suva.
I think the Civil Service Act and the Code of Conduct is quite clear. You're not to involve yourself with illegal activities. If we identify somebody is within the civil service, we will ensure that we not only investigate the matter and charge the person in consent, but will also notify the particular organization to say this particular person is involving themselves in an illegal activity. I think all employees in Fiji have the right to know if somebody is involved in an illegal activity and working for them.
The FCCC is aware of more than 500 pyramid schemes in operation and more than 30,000 Fijians are involved. Abraham stresses that pyramid schemes, regardless of any other label or name, is illegal and fraudulent.
Civil servants are expected to hold a high level of integrity and act in an ethical manner, and they must be honest. By participating or involving themselves in this scheme, they are giving it some legitimacy and credibility which this scheme does not deserve. When it comes to investigation, we will investigate and charge everybody. Then it wouldn't matter whether you're a civil servant or not.
The Commission has written to Acting Minister for Civil Service Fayaz Koya regarding the matter, and they are awaiting a government statement on the matter. Abraham adds that victims only realize that they've been scammed when they lose money. Croitan Dolara, FBC News.
Some members of the Construction Industry Council have raised concerns of incompetent contractors in the past months. CIC President Gordon Jenkins says these contractors are not doing an honest job and is affecting the quality and duration of projects. Kelly Vadala with the story.
A challenge for the sector is finding contractors who can carry work diligently when money is tight.
There's several bad apples around, and they're really affecting a whole lot of very, very straight up and down and honest contractors. And I don't begrudge anybody making a profit out of something, but I do begrudge people spoiling it for everybody else.
Jenkins says contractors need to be on a tight leash.
I really do believe that you have to have a good contractor to work for you, and you have to you cannot rely on them to do it totally. Usually they need to be well supervised.
The Ministry of Commerce and Trade says any development needs a partnership approach.
So in terms of lodgement, in terms of seeing the project through, in terms of when receiving approval for construction permits, they need to follow through.
The construction industry has noticed a lot of local developments in recent months due to an increase in investments, and this is a positive sign for the economy. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
Prime Minister Voreqe Bainimarama today launched the Plan for Pacific Climate Action through the nationality-determined contributions for the next decade. Bainimarama says the document is a key to the shared prosperity and security of a Blue Pacific. Lina Rees reports the NDC mirrors the Paris Agreement and aligns with the Sustainable Development Agenda of the Pacific.
Pacific contributes 0.14%.
Bainimarama says the Pacific welcomes solutions from everywhere, but it will not wait for others.
I know that the impact of the combined efforts of all of us represented here will have a negligible effect on the global picture. But we still must do our part for our own good.
The Prime Minister says he is proud that the region is rising to the challenge of climate change, and the launch of a climate action plan for the Pacific speaks volumes.
From raising the ambition of our NDCs to reducing greenhouse gas emissions, and by making our infrastructure more resilient.
The Strategy 2030 signals additional resources for NDC implementation in the Pacific region.
Through the Strategy 2030, the Pacific NDC Hub will aim to improve NDC planning, policy, strategy, and legislation in the Pacific Island countries.
With a vision of a sustainable, low-carbon and climate-resilient Pacific, the Strategy 2030 is a testament that the Pacific leadership on climate action has been steadier even as it navigates through the challenges of the COVID-19 pandemic. Lena Reese, FBC News.
The Port Denarau Marina recorded a 60% decline in operating revenue for half year ending January 31st. In a market announcement, the company reports a net loss of over $212,000 compared to a net profit of $2.6 million for the same period last year. It says while the result is disappointing, it did exceed budget for the 6 months and the company expects the year-end result to also exceed budget. The management of Port Denarau Marina say the opening of borders through the Blue Lane initiative has been a positive factor in their revenue stream. The Marine under the initiative welcomed over 90 foreign flagged vessels last year. The tender for the construction of a new market in Levuka will be out soon. Levuka Town Council Chief Executive Chosese Rakuita says work on the proposed market is progressing well. He adds 5 architects and engineers are ensuring all paperwork is cleared before a contractor is secured. Rakuita says the old capital needs a new market as many vendors traveling from different islands in the Lomaiviti group are currently sharing space. He adds some vendors travel overnight and sleep along Beach Street to sell their produce.
Now we have the architect and structural engineer are working on it. Soon we will advertise for the construction company to start the rebuilding, the construction of the new market.
The COVID-19 pandemic has been a blessing in disguise for the online food delivery service Cyberfood. Cyberfood Managing Director Masjid Shajad says during the lockdown they receive an average 150 online orders daily compared to 20 pre-COVID. Shajad says people prefer online food orders, saying that it is safe and convenient. He says as he works with car owners to deliver food as they try to meet the growing demands around the country.
People have been searching there, they're working from home, so almost is increasing of order is massive increase in after COVID and when it was the lockdown. When all time when we started till before, sometimes we receive call when the curfew is about to begin. Like, can we have food?
Up ahead, new Fairbrother Trophy unveiled. And more the falls in Easter cricket. Stay with us.
Oira na ngone no de nunu ena be singa ni mataka.
Mersu sunga da kema loma dina kina mikron.
Sakena ngau na mitar lo bina no na baksangai ka wala lo mataki na ngone. Dalo bina oya wo meliki.
Bulre oya wo Samuel Samuli.
Nama kikirau ena be mataka.
Boniti kina magrombuka.
Ni boy tini kalima na miniti me ono kina tini na kaloko. Ena radio Fiji One na ndomo ibiti.
Indaw kina na mataka. Dan ramay na singabo.
Rewa and Nandi have a chance to win the new Inc. Fairbrother Challenge Trophy. The new trophy was unveiled during the launch of the 2021 Skipper Cup season yesterday and the announcement of FRU striking a 3-year partnership with the CJ Patel Group of Companies. The old trophy, which has been there since 1941, is being repaired and it will be kept at the Fiji Museum afterwards.
The old one is under repair. It's been broken up badly. But we hope that the unveiling of the new Fairbrother Trophy today will inspire Rewa. I think Rewa is with us today because this is a trophy that you want to get your hands onto.
The new $2 million sponsorship agreement also includes sponsorship for Skipper Provincial Cup and Inc. Fiji Rugby Fairbrother Challenge and the Fiji Rugby Bainimarama Shield Challenge. Digicel Fiji has granted $8,000 worth of prize money for the Fiji Secondary School Athletics Championship known as the Coca-Cola Games. The telecommunications company are sponsors for the categories with cash prizes for each grade as well as headsets for the best female and male athletes. Chief Executive Farid Mohammed says the Fiji finals has always been a hype for the nation and the timely assistance will go a long way for the athletes. They have also donated a portion of the money to help prepare for the preparation.
So this has given us an opportunity to work with the Fiji Secondary Schools Association and as well as our partners Coca-Cola to bring back Coke Games.
I believe that not only the athletes are looking forward, everybody, the whole country, I think, is looking forward to make sure the Coke Games 2021 is really held and not pulled back again as it was in 2020.
Andy Combo School hopes to continue with the same momentum from the Triple N Zone last month, heading into the Coca-Cola Games. The girls from Sawani know many schools will put up a tough challenge at the Fiji finals, and they're working hard to ensure they successfully defend their girls' champions title at the end of this month. Karleni Tavi reports.
Andi Thakombau School will be fielding 60 athletes competing in all events to bag as many medals as possible.
We have a roughly a balanced team. We have a few field events and a few tracks, and most of our athletes are in the relays because we have 8 relay teams. But so far, it's good. Preparation is good.
The Lilians will be one of the favorites to take out the Blue Ribbon Girls title, with Naomi Navunga looking in form in last month's Triple N Zone competition.
It's going to be a tough call. And I think the 100-meter runners from other zones too are doing well, it all comes back to preparation.
For Pacific Sprint King Banuve Tabakodoro, whose 100-meter record still stands, the only advice is to always remain focused.
Well, it's just about focusing on what you need to do first and stop worrying about the competition.
Andi Thakombau School has been the Coca-Cola Games girls champion since 2017. This year, it's aiming to win the girls title for the 4th year in a row come 22nd of April. Karleni Tavi, FBC Sports.
Defending Easter Cricket Championship champions Suva Warriors will live to fight another day. The Warriors ended Mode's unbeaten run at Albert Park in Suva yesterday. Today, Suva Warriors will play Suva Crusaders in the final. The Crusaders beat Ono Ilau by 43 runs.
We lost Suva Warriors from last week from Mode team. So we not lose focus and lose shape for our game plan. So we are sticking on our game plan.
Cloudy periods with brief showers over the eastern parts and interior of Viti Levu and Vanua Levu, mainly fine elsewhere. That's FBC Morning News. Join us at 7 p.m. for a major bulletin. For news you can trust, get the facts from FBC's TV, radio and digital news at fbcnews.com.fj. Take care and good morning.
हमारे खूबसूरत देश फिजी में चाइल्ड अब्यूज की घटनाएं आए दिन बढ़ रही हैं।
क्यों बच्चों का मासूम बचपन अब्यूज का शिकार हो जाता है?
अपने बच्चों की सुरक्षा का खास ख्याल रखें।
उनसे बातचीत करें, उनके दोस्तों के बारे में जानें।
आज के बच्चे देश का भविष्य है। मैं दीप्ति
और मैं मोनिश,
आपके हमसफर। शामिल हो जाए हमारे साथ मंडे टू फ्राइडे
5:45 AM से 10 AM तक
रेडियो फिजी 2 देश की धड़कन पर।